Inform them how many minutes it will going to be resolved, then who is going to resolve this. These are the procedures. And after that resolutions, usually what we do is we give complementary services. Then if we cannot do anything, then we change the room.
Next, a new report from U.S. intelligence finding
Russian President Vladimir Putin made headlines this week when he announced his country was moving full speed ahead with a coronavirus vaccine, planning to start vaccinating
all over the world.
Maraming tinuturo sa atin mula ng ating kabataan na bago magsimula sa lahat ng bagay, dapat merong laman ang ating sikmura. Magmula na magkaroon ng pandemya, ang aming oras ay nakalaan lamang sa 4 na sulok ng aming tinitira. Sa ganitong sitwasyon na bawal magkasakit, kailangan naming alagaan ang aming sarili sa pagsik ni COVID. Ngayong araw, inihanda ko ang aking sarili sa aking kauna-unahang virtual training session. Sinisigurado kong hindi lamang aking kaisipan ang handa bago pa dumating ang ika-9 ng umaga. Alhamdulillah at mapalad ang katulad kong may naghihintay na pagkain sa pagkainan na biyaya ng kumpanyang aking pinaglilingkuran. 3 sa loob ng isang araw ay mayroong ibinabahaging meal pack katulad nito simula ng nagkapandemya hanggang sa kasalukuyan. Katulad ng suliraning kinakaharap ng marami sa atin dulot ng virtual learning environment, una ko ring mararanasan ang ganitong online medium of learning where the trainer and the trainees are physically separated. Pero katulad ng bagay na hindi pa natin nalalaman, kailangang matutunan, kailangang paghandaan. Lahat ng natututo ay nagsimula sa wala. Ang anumang tagumpay ay galing din sa wala. Ang aking maikling salaysay ay patungkol sa e-learning. Ano nga ba ito at bakit ito mahalaga? Ang e-learning ay integrasyon ng teknolohiya at pagsasama ng technology resources base na ginagamit natin sa pang-araw-araw gaya ng computers at mobile phones. With the help of internet access, it provides learning management system upang mas lalong mapapadali ang ating pakikipag-ugnayan sa isa't isa.
Because when they know the quality, our customer can be happy because of our hotel serve with quality. They are happy coming back, which will require big profit. Whenever profit is meeting our target, meaning that we are all success because the revenue of the hotel, the profit is being met. And if
siya si Adianto, Cluster L&D Manager, ang aming trainer na walang sawang nagbibigay ng kaalaman at katuruan upang masigit na mapaunlad namin ang aming mga sarili sa pagbibigay serbisyo sa kapwa. Kaliwas sa ating mga nakasanayan na on-site training session, ang e-learning ang umaharap sa hamon ng ating pangangailangang matuto at magpatuloy sa gitna ng pandemya. Ngayon ay personal kong bibisitahin ang ating co-training upang makapanayam tungkol sa kanyang personal na karanasan hinggil sa e-learning system. Okay, this is Zadid. Mashallah, Mr. Zadid Hussein. Good morning.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, very good. Nice to see you after some time, son.
Thank you, sir. Inshallah.
Wow, mashallah. Yes, as we discussed, I went to the GM office and I just asked his permission. Just to make sure, yeah, it's our safety protocol.
Yes.
Very good.
Mr. Sadid has been in the hotel for the past how many years now?
Now this 24 years.
24 years. Wow, mashallah, imagine that years. So you might have a lot of achievements in this hotel, huh? Somebody's calling you? Oh, the training. Okay, now I want you to have a seat.
Yes.
Yeah, have a seat and let's do it. Yeah, okay. This is how the virtual classroom is being done. Of course, you know, with this pandemic now, the pandemic itself should not be the reason for people to stop learning, right? And so it is one of the very great examples for that. So the virtual classroom usually is being done through the device. We have here, yes, the mobile. Look at that. You can hear Hadianto is our training manager, and mashallah. In which module are we in now?
Now we are going to this management of time, managing of time.
Managing your time. Wow. And we also discussed today about standards, right?
I now understand that.
Wow. In your perspective, what do you think are the good thing about the virtual classroom training?
Really, Mr. This training is very good and useful for everybody, because before we don't know how to this virtual training we are going. Now, alhamdulillah, we are going to virtual training, and this training affected everybody, alhamdulillah, and we also proud for this training. And this training, you know, this pandemic time, they give more this about how we use this mask, how this wash our hand, and how can we distance, social distance also he give there. And now Mr. Hadi, he also start to our this course. Mashallah, there is 10 course and 7 is finished. And mashallah, we are more improvement. And we try to this course when we get it, and we also improve our team member and team leaders, which is affected our business, because we know we are working in the hospitality this property. So this training should we give to our this team member, and when he serve our guest, and should be he knows this is the pandemic time, this COVID-19, and how can he use everything smoothly. And when he come in the floor, maybe he use some gloves, and sometimes he also use the sanitize, and how many minutes or second he wash the hand, and every time we also give this training to our colleague. And when he come here, and how he use the sanitize in the room. So, you know, this I give to Mr. Hadianto thanks, because no, he is when he start to virtual training, before we don't know how to use the mobile and what is the Google Meet. Now, alhamdulillah, we know the Google Meet, and very good training. And I think nobody can stop this one, because this is continuous process for learning.
Even if we are in the pandemic, as we told before, like people shouldn't stop learning. You know, we continue, because pandemic will just come and go, but learning stays with you.
Alam ko sa aking sarili ng e-learning ay hindi sapat upang matugunan ang pangangailangan ng bawat isa sa tradisyonal na paraan. May mga kaalamang higit na mas madaling unawain pag personal na magkakasama. Subalit hindi na natin maitatatwa ng traditional learning ay mahal. It will take time to complete, while e-learning is free. You learn at your own pace and place. So the importance of e-learning is now a given fact, and it can offer an alternative that is much faster, cheaper, and potentially better. Sa kasalukuyan, ang aking mga tungkulin sa opisina ay ginagawa ko na lamang sa bahay. Kaya't ang e-learning ay higit na nakapagbibigay sa akin ng sapat na panahon upang tugunan ang iba ko pang gawain sa pang-araw-araw. Bilang bagong sibol na YouTuber, pagkatapos ng mahigit 2 oras na aralin, napagtutunan ko ng pansin ang mga nais ko pang ilahad o talakayin sa aking YouTube channel. Training is learning. After several days of attending the session, we needed to share back what we have learned. We discussed a total of 10 modules, and one should give an overview for one of them. Bilang isang hotelier whose primary role is to deliver guest satisfaction, I was assigned to the module entitled Thrilling Our Guest. Narito ang aking aktual na presentasyon.
You can hear me, Mr. Radianto? You can hear me now? Can you thumbs up? Mr. Radianto, I'm looking at you. Okay, very good. Thank you again. I am back to share with you the insights we have learned in module number 9. Alright, module number 9. Just a moment. Module number 9 is about thrilling our guests. The only most important person in our industry is the guests, because without them, we don't exist. So it's very important to thrill them. Now, we started in the module by the quote of O.G. Mandiano. He says, always render more and better services that is expected of you, no matter what your task may be. Your customer doesn't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Here, guests actually, when they come to the hotel, they have only 3 things in their mind. They want only rooms, food, and services. So they don't care about who you are, where are you from, how many years you are working in the hospitality industry. They don't care about that. But the moment you show them something that surprises them about your personality, when you start smiling upon them, when you see them, when you acknowledge them by name, when you also greeted them and offer help, and when you ask how is their stay, are all expression of caring. So what is the meaning of this? That no matter what your departments are, what your positions may be, in the eyes of the guest, you are the hotel, you represent its brand, you are the standard. Let's proceed with another very important points here. Why do we need to delivering great customer service? The competition is very tough now because every hotel, they have the best of the best facilities. But the competition is actually about the great customer service. In this illustration, you will find 3 important people in the hotel. We have the guests on the top, we have management and team members. Our job as team members and the management is to support each other so we can push up the guests to make sure that the guests will be satisfied with our service. They will have satisfaction, we will meet their expectation, then they will receive a reliable information like our hotel is okay. So they said, yes, I can say, guarantee, they have a very high quality of standard because they experience it. So they will be happy customer, we will their loyalty, their trust, then after that, they will give us their money. They won't give it to any other competition. If the guest is happy, eventually, the happier ones are management. Because it will increase our reputation, the ratings online of our hotel. So people will start telling like, you should go to this hotel. So we will have more repeated business, no clients, reduction of cost. So people will have more time to come and we will have a great team. And possibly, we will do expansion of the company. If the guests and management are happier, the happiest among them are the team members, us, because it's a job pride. It's a satisfaction. You can keep your job. You have nothing to be worried about because we are doing well. Then we will have promotions, we will have continuous training, then we will have more empowerment, we will have future success. But the most important points in this slide is make sure management team member working hand in hand, protect the guests, make sure that they will not go anywhere else. Now, next slides, just a moment, I am having a hard time here. Here we are, this is the challenge with vertical. Okay, just a moment, okay. Now, moments of truth. What does it mean? Moments of truth we understood from the training is this is a point where the brand is formed. This is a very crucial moment because this is the time when a guest see our product and services for the very first time, and from that, he will have an impression of or their opinions about our services. So they will rate us. Are we 5-star hotel, 4-star hotel, or 3, or no star at all? So here, the first thing first is first impression. First impression lasts. When they come to the hotel, they will check interior and exterior. How is the welcoming spirit? Am I being welcomed by the team in the hotel? Next, membership orientation. How are we helping them? When they come to us, are our team helping them, orienting them about the location of basic location like restaurants? For example, where is the way going to Haram? Do we have any vegetarian session in the restaurant? Do we have a children club? So on and so forth. And third, we also have the fellowship or variety of communication. Are we as a company helping our community? Are we serving them? Do we do blood donation, for example, which we are doing? And how's our communications? What type of communications are we offering? Internet, reliable internet sources, customer service hotlines, telephone calls, and CRM. And for the third one is the program planning and meeting organization. Now we are not a business hotel, but in some cases we are asking to meet the guests in a group. So are we doing it on time? Are we telling them, like for example, we have an emergency broadcasting system. Are we telling them in advance that we are going to do it from what time to what time? All right. And also at the same time, you remember Hats, when we have our bracelet with us, we are distributing them according to the nationality and the preferences of the food. So we set the time and where is the location. Are we really following them? And also membership strength. Membership strength is referring to our loyalty program. What benefits the team are apart from the guests are receiving from us. Our social media, are we engaging them as well? So these are also very important key points for guests. And finally, achievement recognition. How are we with regards to TripAdvisor, for example? If they hear, because usually when they wanted to book, the first thing they do is they check online what are the ratings. Are we really meeting the ratings being given to us or the award we receive from award giving bodies about our hospitality services? So these are the most important moments for the guests. Now, if things will not go well, how are we going to handle the moment of truth? Here we have 3 steps. First is empathy. Empathy is the feeling from our side, like we are putting ourselves to the shoe of the guest. So we are using the phrase, I know how you feel, and I know and I feel how frustrating it is for you. So by the time the guests feel like you are one of them. So 50% of the problem is already resolved. After that, you go to procedure. So for example, our procedure, if the guest complains, we take the room number, we took the name, then after that we inform them how many minutes it will going to be resolved, then who is going to resolve this. These are the procedures. And after that resolutions, usually what we do is we give complimentary services. Then if we cannot do anything, then we change the room. All right? So these are the moments of truth. Now, one of the points also we discussed in our, I'm very sorry about this. There's something wrong, not wrong, but it's mine. So I just want to make sure, okay. Now, one of the best way to thrill the guests as well is first thing first, we need to classify the difference between guest wants and guest needs. The meaning of need is what is something essentials and important. While wants, it is something we desire to possess. Example, in our hotel, the guests need to sleep well. So what we are doing, we are providing them clean room. They need to communicate with their families. So what do? We give them reliable Wi-Fi. Then they wanted to get refreshed after they go for Umrah or they go outside. So we give them good shower with amenities. But for once, they wanted to go for shopping. So we have commercial center. They wanted to go and pray in Haram. So we give them easy accessible to Haram. They wanted to read. So we provide them magazine and newspaper. But first thing first is in order for us to identify their needs, we need to listen to understand. Now, please be careful. Like there are 2 major differences between hearing and listening. Because hearing is just a perception of the sound we hear into our ears. It is accidental and voluntary and effortless. But for listening, it is actually the action that we choose to do. So we are focused, we volunteer, then intentional. We sit down and we talk. So in order to know what are the needs and wants of the guests, we keep asking them questions. And now let's proceed with very important point as well. We need to make sure that when the guest comes to us, there is a special connection. Because according to a study, it's not a guarantee that the guests, when you meet their expectation, they will stay with you because they select there are any other hotels. But if you are connected to them emotionally, it will generate a meaningful experience. Example, we see a guest walking around the lobby looking back and forth, and you know that he's looking for something. So what we do, don't ask a stupid question like, what do you want? Or what's wrong with you, sir? What are you doing? Or what's your problem? These are triggering questions that eventually will lead to frustration. So you are not helping. So the best way to say is, sir, how can I help you? Or sir, I'm looking at you like you may need some assistance. So these are actually the best intelligent question we can ask to the guests. Because at the end of the day, we need to make sure also that our language is conjiving with the words we say. So the main point of this is, it is not actually what you say, but how you say it. Now suppose that we already asked intelligent questions and we already identify what are the guest needs, then we are building already a rapport. You know, a rapport, this is actually a common band of trust between you and the guest. I know that you have your guests with you. They wanted to be with you. They wanted to stay, they stay in the hotel because of you. Because you make them feel that they are valued, cared, and respected. So rapport means us and trust. Okay, whatever we do, no matter how much effort we do, there will always be decided by guests, whatever are the reasons. But there is best way we need to do in order to respond to them effectively. So we have to listen. Listen is very important because this is where we are going to take the guests out from the group or from the crowd. We sat down, we take notes, we nod, then we don't interrupt when they were talking. Then after that, we thank. Why are we thanking the guest? Because he is telling us something that we didn't know about. We thank the guest because it's not going to be repeated for the rest of the guests as well. So it's a gift from them. That's why we thank. Then we empathize. Empathize, as we said, very important because this is where the guests feel like we are one of them and we understand them. After that, we keep asking questions, gather information, then we paraphrase, we repeat back to make sure that we are getting the right message from the guest. Then after that, we apologize. I am so sorry, sir. And apologizing, we are not using we. We are owning the situation, that's why we are using I. You take it personally. After that, you agree on solution. Like for example, you tell the guest, like, sir, I am going to transfer you to another room, blah, 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 blah. All right? Eventually, you take action. Then you check, then you report, and after that, you get back to the guest. Now, service recovery, building bridges through service recovery. We have learned in this module that a good service and exceptional service recovery after failure make our guests feel valued, cared, and respected. And eventually, when somebody feels respected, cared for, and valued, it will result to a greater emotional connection to your hotel and to your guests. So what will happen once you earn the trust and the loyalty of your guests, there will be a greater sales because there will be a greater guest retention. They will not go. They are going to give the money to you. So you imagine that. Because also according to the studies, 65% of the guests who are complaining and face some problems, but these problems are being resolved according to their satisfaction, they will come back to the hotel. But there is a question here. It's very easy actually to say like we can thrill the guests, but it's quite difficult. This is how. We need to drive our day by our own because as we said, happy team member is also a happy guest. But if you are not happy, you cannot make the guest happy as well. So we should start a day with a happy mood. When we wake up in the morning, we say thank you. We pray and thank God for another life. Then after that, we leave whatever problems you have at home because the guests don't need them. They don't care about your problems. When you look at the mirror, you ask yourself, I am an actor. the guests are paying something for the good service. So my job is to make sure that we deliver quality service. So they don't care about your problems. And always remember that problem is always part of life. When you wake up in the morning, we always have something in our mind. So it's not an excuse not to stay something positive. That's why we need to always stay positive at all times, because it can change your mindset and it is very contagious at the same time. Because one thing that for sure in our lives, there are things we can do something about, there are things we can influence, but there are also things that we cannot do nothing about. So to end this presentation, we are working in a hotel, means we give our best to the fullest in order to satisfy guests. We take the full responsibility to guest experience. We are owning their journey. So always offer help, take action and resolve, adopt the right attitude, go extra mile, be the ambassador of the hotel, the best that you can do. Then always go outside of the box. Always reach the guests, because not all guests will speak to you. So eventually, the conclusion of this module number 9 is to put in our mind that our job as a hotelier is to make sure that we can make the guests happy, because they are the guests of Allah, and we must believe that we can make them really happy. So that ends with my presentation. I am now giving my floor to Chef Ahmed for the PDCA Plan, Do, and Check and Action module. Thank you very much.